Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Candlelight vigil for Bolton brothers, family still waiting for bodies. A candlelight vigil was held on Tuesday evening for Tavares and Tavon Bolton, the two Jamaican brothers who joined last week on Martha's Vineyard in USA. The vigil was held at the brothers' Palmer's Cross Clarendon residence, started at 6 p.m. In the meantime, Reverend Keith Bolton, the father of the two brothers, still doesn't know when he'll be able to repatriate the bodies of his son to Jamaica. "We have no knowledge yet. We are still on the island, Martha's Vineyard. It's quite likely to take some time. I know they are expediting the process," Reverend Bolton told reporters. "The time frame on when the bodies will be able to hand over to us is entirely dependent on the local authorities releasing the bodies, issuing the necessary documentation, and flight availability." Reverend Bolton said that it has been a tough process for the family since the shocking news of his son's death. "It's very hard. We're doing our best to stay afloat. It's ups and downs," he said. The brothers, who were seasonal workers at Martha's Vineyard, went missing after jumping off a well-known bridge in the area featured in the horror classic Jaws. Tavares had previously graduated from the University of Technology in Jamaica, while the younger brother, Tavon, was studying business at the University of West Indies. The brothers are survived by their parents, Reverend Bolton, and his wife Jackie, and two sisters, Tavani and Tivania. Asked whether his sons were good swimmers, Reverend Bolton responded, "To be honest, I am not 100% sure, because I know they did swimming classes, but I don't know the extent of their ability. We have not gone swimming together." Two GoFundMe campaigns were launched to help the Bolton's family transport the brothers' body home for burial and cover their funeral expenses. One account has raked up US $10,000, while another titled Memorial Fund has amassed US $220,000, including an anonymous US $25,000 donation. Organizers, who is also the owner of the Norman's restaurant where the brothers work, wrote glowingly about the brothers on the fundraiser's page, saying that their bright smiles, charismatic personalities, unshakable faith, and unrelenting positive attitude made them an absolute joy to be around. Alligator Pond residents demand compensation from JPS over 2-day power outage. Residents of Alligator Pond and surrounding areas in southern Manchester are calling on the Jamaica Public Service JPS to compensate them for losses resulting from a 2-day power outage. The residents, some of whom operate small businesses, argue that scores of food items including fish, chicken, and ice cream had to be discarded. One resident, Carlin Williams, said the power went out about 9 p.m. on Saturday. "We pay our light bill on time. Those things are not fair. I am a fish vendor and everything melted out. I had to be asking people to trust them from me just to keep my business going. We have to work so hard to pay our bills. And when our bills are not paid, you guys JPS come and cut out the light," she said. The power was restored sometime after 7 p.m. on Monday. Another resident shared similar sentiments of the power outage. "The fridge full of fish and chicken, I may have to take them and dash them away. Or me liquor in my shop, me have to give them away. As one current bill come, we have to find the money to pay it. Where the people need justice," she said. Educator Omar Robinson, who is aspiring to present the People's National Party in Alligator Pond Division, is calling on JPS to compensate the affected residents and small business owners. JPS must and should compensate customers who can show that they really lost their items based on the company's negligence, he said. JPS Director of Communications Winsome Cullum said while she was not aware of the outage, explained that customers can submit their claims. There is a standard claims process that any customer can use if they think they have suffered some damage as a result of something on the part of the JPS, and this would be for them to submit in a formal claim in writing to the JPS Claims Department, Cullum stated. A trick, Cousins accuses the private sector of JLP favoritism. Member of Parliament for South West Clarendon, the PNP's Luton Cousins, is accusing the private sector of propping up the JLP government while ignoring the needs of the people. He made the attack while addressing PNP supporters at a South East St. Andrew constituency conference over the weekend. Cousins said the private sector was afraid to have the PNP in power because the party would protect the people.
"We have a cost of living crisis like never before. People are suffering. People are dead for hungry. That is the reality of the Jamaica we live in today. We see the poultry company come and try to trick with. Them say they're going to decrease the chicken by $12. But you know the thing is that every time they increase the cost for chicken, it increased by a percentage figure. So why are you going to come now and decrease it by a dollar figure? The last time it was increased, it was 10%. When you look at the $12 decrease now, it is 1.4%. So it's another tricky trick. It's another way of trying to propping up the government. And you have to understand that the private sector will always support the government that is going to support them. And they will never support the People's National Party the way they have never supported us that way. And they'll never support us that way because we are the party for the people. When the PNP wins, you, the people, are in power. And that is what they are afraid of. When you have the power, they are afraid. Because the government that has the power will ensure that they rule for you. If the government is the government for the minority, which is the private sector group, who you think they're going to vote support? Who you think their policies are going to be geared towards? Certainly not you, the people who support us. And so a friend of mine once said that the only person who's a laborer, a black person who's a laborer, must be a confused PNP. And I support that. Because I cannot see how poor black people can support a party like the Jamaica Labour Party. That is not the party for us. The PNP is the party of the people. The PNP is the party for the people. And the PNP is always going to be the party that is going to be here for you, to support you, to ensure that you and your children have a good opportunity at achieving in this world.
JTA says minister needs to back up promises with action. Outgoing president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Winston Simmet, has thrown down the gauntlet to Education Minister Favour Williams, urging her to make good on Monday's promised measures to stem the exodus of teachers from the country's limping education sector. At the same time, he expressed personal gratitude to the minister for some of the proposed solutions she outlined during a press conference. I hope that it is not just pronouncements being made in the media, but the requisite bulletin is sent into the sector so that persons will have tangible proof to say, yes, here is the evidence, here is a legal document that we are using to guide our decision-making, Simmet told journalists on the sidelines of the JTA's annual conference being held in Montego Bay. Among Williams' suggestions that found favor with the JTA was the green light for schools to continue recruiting trained teachers graduates with first degrees. Approximately 200 such graduates are expected from the University of the West Indies, University of Technology Jamaica, and Northern Caribbean University. That pronouncement by the minister would be welcome because if we have the opportunity now to go and recruit pre-trained graduates, persons who would have left the various universities and colleges not necessarily trained in teaching, we will now be able to access that kind of content knowledge from those individuals, and it will help, said Simmet. He expressed concern, however, that the benefits may not extend to all levels of the educational sector. The concern I have with that, though, is how do we fix the challenge at the primary level, which carry a different skill set of requirements for those at the secondary level, said Simmet. He was also cautious in reacting to the Education Ministry's announcement that school boards will be allowed to take on part-time teachers, including those who use retirement or pensioning for September. Parents and teachers would need to be prepared for their return, he said. The concern we have is how students will respond to these teachers and work with them. So we're saying to parents, get your children to understand that we're in a crisis situation and that we need these persons. So you need to show them respect. You need to treat them in a manner that will cause them to want to stay and to be encouraged to come out of retirement and help the education sector. Because at the end of the day, these teachers are the ones who would help your children to advance themselves academically, stated Simmet. The JTA sounded alarm a few weeks ago that the country should brace for an exodus of teachers this year, as more than 400 have left already to take up lucrative jobs opportunity in the United States. On Monday, Williams said 167 teachers have left their position in the local school system over the past 2 months, adding that those figures could increase. Simmet is bracing for upheaval in the classroom come September. He has appealed to parents to be more understanding of the realities that will confront us when we go back to school. Don't go to school and make a big issue if teachers are not available, because administrators will have to take our time to understand the situation, take a grip on what is happening, and seek the remedy for the solution. Many of our administrators will now know or may not know until September morning, and the gravity of the matter is before us. Neither does the Ministry of Education have all of the information and access availability right now, Simi told journalists on Monday. As they wait for the final tally of slots to be filled, the government has identified 964 specialist teachers who have just completed their studies and are now available for employment in the national school system. Among them are 67 mathematics teachers, 32 teachers of physics and chemistry, and 17 with industrial education specialization, Minister Williams said on Monday. We do have teachers coming in under the Jamaica-Cuba bilateral program. We have 70 teachers there. We have a framework agreement with the Cuban government under which we bring in these teachers into our system. Simit commended the minister for identifying solutions and providing school administrators with the support needed to do whatever is necessary to get competent individuals in their classroom, in your school to help at this time to fix the educational challenge that we have. I would personally say to the minister, thank you, congratulations, well done, said Simit. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell